Captain Keith here with MarineMax. Today I'm going to show you the proper way of tying your line to a dock if you're using the line that has the loop in the end. There is actually a wrong way and a right way. Your tendency may be, if you're standing inside the boat, to let this go down through the horns, pull up, and then when you secure this to the dock, if you need to get off the dock quickly, you're not going to be able to release this. So you always want to go from the bottom outside up, pull it over the horns, pull it down, then secure it to your dock. Then you'll be able to grab this to safely undo it and be on your way. Earlier I'd shown you all a proper way of tying the boat if you had the loop on the end of your line. That's not always going to be the case. Sometimes you're going to have the bitter end. In order to properly do this, you want to take the line the longest way around the cleat up underneath, go wrap around both sides, do half a figure 8, and then the tricky part is here, you just want to lay these two lines parallel on top of the cleat. So all you have to do is you're going to have a loop on this end, roll it, pull up, and secure it down like that. You got the two lines parallel with this. So if you look, you got a line going this way, 1, 2, 3. Hey there, Captain Keith with MarineMax. Today we're going to be discussing flares and the proper use and disposal of them. First of all, you want to check the expiration dates on your flares. There will be a manufacturer date and an expiration date. They're good for 3 years. If you haven't checked them in 3 years, I guarantee you they're expired. If you want to light one of these off, all you do is pop the black cap off the top. It's going to expose a little piece of sandpaper up here. This plastic cap is going to pull off of this stick. So now what I have is a matchstick and the side of my box of matches. You'll strike it like that. Then you're going to have a flame and smoke. You want to hold it in the white part, downwind over the water. As this slowly burns down, slag is going to be dripping off here. You want it to fall into the water and not onto your seat cushions or something else in your boat. Once it hits the white part here, it goes out. The red ones are good for day or night. You may have an orange one on here as well, which is strictly good for daytime. There's no flame to it. You may also have a flare gun. In that case, you take the barrel, you just snap it open. You can see it's empty here. You slide one of the shells off the little rack, drop it in there, close it back up, pull the hammer back, squeeze the trigger, and up she goes like a Roman candle at 4th of July. Don't be standing underneath your bimini top or underneath the hard top on your boat. You don't want to be bouncing around like Ricochet Rabbit. These are not toys. They're only to be used in case of emergency as a life-saving device. If you need to get somebody's attention, I guarantee you this will get it. Also, proper disposal. You don't want to throw these in the garbage can or anywhere where anybody can get their hands on them or they could catch fire or anything like that. I recommend taking them to your local fire department where those men and women can properly dispose of them or use them in training exercises. So if you've got any further questions, stop by one of your local MarineMax stores or visit us online at MarineMax.com. Hi there, I'm Captain Keith with MarineMax. I'd like to thank you for joining me today aboard this Boston Whaler 37 Outrage. Boating season's fast approaching. I'd just like to go over some tips, how to keep everybody safe on the water, and what to kind of look for if your boat's been sitting for a while. And just a quick review on some of our safety gear that you're going to need to have aboard your boat. If the boat's been sitting over the winter, check and make sure your flares are still within the expiration date. You must have a life jacket for everybody on board your boat. Your throwable device, you need to have where it's immediately accessible. Check your fire extinguishers. They're going to have a little needle in here. It's in the green. You know you're good to go. And also your boats are going to be equipped with a horn, but you still have to have a manual sound producing device, whether or not that's a whistle or an air horn. This is the bilge area of our 37 Outrage and also the generator compartment. Our batteries are stored down in here. You want to make sure your batteries are charged up and in good working condition. We've got fuel filters in here. You want to check, inspect around them. There's nothing leaking. We've got our through hulls for the different live wells, for the air conditioner pump, for the generator. Your bilge should be nice, clean, and dry. You shouldn't have any sort of smell or anything in here. So it's real important. Look everything over, check everything out. And once you're sure it's all good, clean, dry, you're ready to go. Here we are at the helm. A few things to just check out before you take off for a good, fun, safe day on the water. Your VHF radio, make sure you transmit and receive. Make sure your chart plotters power up, fish finder, whatever it is that you have as far as electronics. Go through your gauges and your switches, make sure your nav lights work, your horn works, your bilge pumps work. Make sure everything's here. We've checked the bilge, we know we're clean, things are good in there. Just make sure that everything's working from here back to there. Once you've done that, check your fuel, make sure you got enough gas, head on out and have a great day. Well, that about does it today on this Boston Whaler 37 Outrage. If you've got any questions or would like any additional tips or information, be sure to stop by your local MarineMax store. We'll see you out on the water. Hey again, Captain Keith here with Lisa from MarineMax. Today we're going to go over a different type of PFD. We've discussed your personal flotation devices and or life jackets, however you want to call them. This is a type 1, which can be kind of cumbersome. It's bulky, it's big. There are type 3 devices, such as this. This is a fanny pack type deal. Will go around your waist. It's got a little cord here. You can pull down on this to inflate it. The life jacket will inflate in front of you. You'll have to pick it up and place it over your head. There's also another type, which like Lisa's wearing, which are called suspenders. Several different types on those as well. They're auto inflate, and or she could also pull this to inflate it if need be. One thing I do want to stress, these type 3 PFDs are not considered a life jacket on your boat unless you're actually physically wearing it. If you've got it sitting in a seat next to you, it's not going to count. It has to be on. A lot less cumbersome, less bulky. If she's trying to be on the boat to get sun, or you're by yourself and you're going up to mess with the anchor or something like that, you can throw that on real easy instead of using a big bulky jacket. These are reloadable, so if someone were to pull this, go for it. It will inflate like this. It's ice cold. This is a CO2 cartridge right here that once we deflate this, all you have to do is reload it and you'll be set, ready to go again.
If you'd like more boating information or more boating tips, visit MarineMax.com or your local MarineMax store.
Hey there, Captain Keith here with MarineMax. Today I'm going to give you a few tips on how to read channel markers and what they mean, and a couple different types of rules. First off, you're going to notice the red marker here is a triangle with an even number in it. The green's going to be square with an odd number in it. Many of you may have heard red right return. Well, what does that really mean? If you're out, let's say in the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic Ocean, and you're coming back in towards the intercoastal waterway, you're returning from a bigger body of water to a smaller body of water. In that case, the red markers will be on your right side as you're returning back into shore. If you're going into a marina, you're pulling off the intercoastal waterway and you're going back to a marina. Once again, big to small, reds on the right, returning. The channel markers aren't going to move. So when you're leaving, the reds will be on your left, the greens are going to be on your right, going out. As you go up further towards a marina, or you're coming in off the Gulf or the Atlantic, the numbers are going to go in ascending order. The 1 and 2 are going to be out towards a safe water mark or out at the end of the channel. It might be 45, 46, 47, 48, depending on how far up a channel you're going. Vice versa, when you're going out, once you get out to number 1 and number 2, you know you're out at the end. Then you go, okay, so now I'm into the intercoastal waterway. Now which side do I keep my reds on? Which side do I keep my greens on? It's very simple. There will be a yellow triangle above the number or a yellow square above the number. Okay. These are your intercoastal waterway symbols. You want to keep these triangles, the yellow triangles, to the continental land, USA land side. So if you're in New England and you're going down to Key West and there was an imaginary intercoastal waterway that ran that whole way, these yellow triangles are going to be on the right-hand side, on the starboard side of your boat as you're heading down the coast. You make it to Key West, now you're turning up, you're coming up the Gulf and you're going around to Texas. These yellow triangles are still going to be on your starboard side. USA is on your right, the Gulf of Mexico is on your left. 99% of the time, the yellow triangles are going to be inside these red squares. The yellow squares will be inside the green ones. They can use other markers, other items to distinguish the intercoastal waterway, So they may stick this on something else, but what you're looking for is the yellow symbols, the yellow triangles, the yellow squares. Triangles on the land side, the squares towards the water. If they're blank like this, it's red right return, going from big to small. It's as easy as that. I hope this helped clarify any questions you had about navigating the Intercoastal Waterway and/or the red right return rules. But in a nutshell, as Alan Jackson and Jimmy Buffett say, keep it between the markers. If you've got any questions or would like any further tips, you can visit one of your local MarineMax stores or visit us online at MarineMax.com.